A drop of ink enters the mass of water. That is you. This drop is delicate and in need of care, resembling the color of the source, just like all the drops that enter this medium. Beyond the initial velocity you have, the spread is pretty limited, as if the water you're in is cold. You have no idea what water is or how it works, but over time, you adapt to its workings. The evolutionary fears you're born with are driven away with familiarity. The water seems warmer now, and you learn to move about and navigate the world. The ink spreads slowly but surely. This spread represents your life, all the interactions, the conversations, every exchange with the outside world. There are trails of ink that have existed since before you and will exist much after you. Your colors change with interactions just as you do, and soon you start to diverge from your source onto a path of your own. From the top-down view of the tank, you may see the radial spread of the ink, the circle expanding in area as well as the perimeter. The expanse of knowledge, experiences, influence, and the overall metrics of life. Another thing you may see are extremely narrow capillaries connecting individual circles, forming a network of sorts. This is how we often perceive life to be, individual journeys with a few key connections, sometimes popularity or success, whatever that means to you, but almost always segregated from other people that exist, or even most people you meet in your day-to-day life. But this worldview makes us miss out on the whole vertical dimension. Life doesn't seem to be a top-down view, but living in the weeds. You have interactions with people and the world. When two diffusions interact, they create a new tendril, something that will leave a trail of its own. A beautiful memory imprinted in the medium, whether you realize it or not, whether you remember it or not. You'll probably forget the description of the off-fruit you produced, but not the emotions you felt. The colors you reflect on each other during the process will forever be a part of your identity. And you keep spreading throughout your life, affecting countless lives, interacting with other streams, sometimes voluntarily, sometimes not. Just by being on some crossroad on a Sunday afternoon, walking past a stranger, you affect them and they affect you, just by mere presence. What you have always thought of as yourself, an independent entity, becomes an amalgamation of not only your inherent color, but also all the crossroads you've been through, all the laughs you've had with a friend, all the tears you've cried, giving your flow another bend. But just like in real life, your ink dilutes to the point where you're stretched out so much that you're rendered almost invisible. Not only are you diluted, it feels as if you've been sucked out of the water in your entirety, as if the ink seemingly collapsed on itself, as if your journey has been sped up in the backward direction, returning directly to the moment when you entered the water, and then before it. Moments notice the vulnerabilities and impermanence and weaknesses of the human body and life is exposed when you are entangled from everything you were ever a part of, and remains behind a world not of your trails and tendrils, but of the colors you imparted on others and how others did the same to you. But you're still there, aren't you? When you're gone, people find you in your memories, in the present imperfections you've left in them, permanently shaping them, leaving an imprint, maybe even scarring them. They find your traces in the extended turbulence of their own selves, which were induced by you but can't be reverted back. We try to resist the change to revert back to our previous selves, and this tendency remains till the time we're in denial of the loss. They find you in the loops formed together, but now there's a hollow ring, a void seeking meaning. It often feels like people that are gone are still shaping us, which sometimes doesn't even make sense to us. But in the physical absence of a person, the idea of them remains alive with us. And similarly, when a person dies, so does a tiny part in all of us. That void though, it's always there. Sometimes reduced by time and how ink spreads naturally, and sometimes by being in contact with other people. Their ink filling the void imperfectly. Not replacing you, but just completing the hole you left in there. Ultimately, all the evidence of your presence dilutes away, and there isn't a you to point at. But through the dilution, you become one with the water, and in a manner of speaking, become a permanent presence in the medium, welcoming the new droplets. We're all in a dynamic world. There are deaths and losses and births and joyous moments. But inside this container, we are much more connected than we all think. And we're together. And despite the boundaries and borders we've artificially created to make it harder to see others, it's important to remember that the water is transparent.